Good evening and welcome. Let's take a look at our top story this hour. Mild earthquake tremors were felt in the national capital region. The magnitude recorded is 3.5 and the epicenter is New Delhi. We are being joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, on the phone line for more on this. Good evening to you, Siddhant. We felt the earthquake here in the studio. What updates do you have for us?
Well, yes, an earthquake measuring 3.5 on the Richter scale struck Delhi. The depth was 8 kilometers. The exact time when the earthquake struck was 5:45 and 3 seconds. That was the time when the earthquake struck. It's not rare that the epicenter is Delhi, but the epicenter was Delhi. And one thing I can tell you, that because of the fact that this is the Himalayan range, the entire Indian subcontinent has a history of devastating earthquakes, whether it is in Nepal or whether it is in the Afpak border. But by and large, no reports of any major damage, because you know that 3.5 being on the Richter scale is quite less. But by and large, of course, people were spooked. We know that many of the people, especially the media people who were in offices, were present doing live bulletins, and suddenly things started shaking, and especially people in high-rise buildings in Gurgaon, Faridabad and Noida also reported the quake at a much higher scale. But by and large, we know that the entire area has a history, the entire region has a history of earthquakes, and also because of the Indo-Gangetic plains, we know the soil, the alluvial soil, only increases the risk of any damage. We also know the fact that if you look at the geography of the entire Indian subcontinent, once India was a different portion altogether, and since the fact that the entire landmass stuck into the Asian landmass, it led to the rise of the Himalayas. And since then, we know that since Himalayas are a young mountain formation, the fact that they are still increasing in the height, we know that the area is prone to earthquakes, and there have been a lot of reports as well, many researchers saying that every few years there might be devastating earthquakes, and for that the government has also announced a number of measures, whether it's here in Delhi or other parts of South Asia. But by and large, no reports of any major damage. This was very less on the Richter scale, but of course it spooked a lot of people, and the fact that the epicenter was Delhi is something quite rare to happen here in India.
Siddhant, thank you for that report, and of course you'll be keeping us updated. That's our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, bringing us the latest, as there was just recently a mild earthquake here in Delhi. Now, the world today marks the Easter Sunday. It's a time to spread smiles, even in the grim times of this pandemic. But for Sri Lanka, Easter brings back horrific memories of the past. On Easter Sunday last year, 279 people were killed and 593 wounded in bombings which targeted 3 churches and 3 luxury hotels. The island nation has grown back to stability since then, and today Sri Lanka's Roman Catholic Church has forgiven the suicide bombers behind the deadly attack. Archbishop Cardinal Malcolm Ranjith, in a televised address, said misled youth had attacked our lives, but as Catholics we remember Jesus' message: we forgive them, we offer love to the enemies who try to destroy us. We ask them not to do the same again. Last year, the Archbishop had called for the government of the day to step down over its failure to prevent the attacks despite intelligence inputs. The government lost the following elections, while then police chief has been charged with murder for allegedly not acting on intelligence about the attacks. Then President Maithripala Sirisena had initially blamed Islamic extremists with international links for the attacks. Later, however, he accused international drug cartels for conducting the attacks, supposedly to destabilize his anti-narcotics drive. The Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the attack. Sri Lanka's Criminal Investigation Department, however, has said that there was no evidence of the terror outfit's direct involvement. Easter celebrations in Sri Lanka this year have been muted amid a nationwide lockdown in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. Sri Lanka has till now reported over 200 coronavirus cases, while 7 people have died.